So Thoth on our Discord asked about how he could make use of NFTs which aren't available on our inventory system. We support all EVM smart contracts, but our inventory system's indexers only support a number of the most popular chains. Thoth's NFT lives on the Songbird network, so I'm going to show you how we're going to be able to load the image of that NFT and check for ownership of that NFT. So first, let's add the Songbird network as a blockchain. First, right-click on the background of your content browser, go to the Web3 section, and click Blockchain. And let's call it Songbird. Now, Thoth was nice enough to send over the chain list for Songbird. So we're going to go to chain list. We're going to copy the RPC address for Songbird. We're going to open up the Songbird asset, and we're going to paste that into node URL. We're going to call it Songbird. We're going to give it a symbol, which is the symbol from here, currency SGB. And we're going to set the chain ID, which is 19. Then we need to create the contract, so he also sent over the contract he's working with, which is called Cooties. So we are going to go to code, then we're going to scroll down to find the contract ABI, press copy ABI, then we're going to go back to the content browser, and we're going to right click on the back again, go to Web3 and go to contract, and we're going to call this Cooties. We're going to go in there, we're going to paste in the ABI and press find methods, and that's going to find all the methods here and here. So you can see the read methods and the write methods. So we're going to save that. And now we're also going to create a deployed contract, which we're going to call Cooties deployed. And in here we're just going to select our chain, which is Songbird, our contract, which is Cooties, and the address, which is at the top here. We can just press copy address, press save, and now that's done. Now this is an object that I've created where we're going to show the NFT. So I've called it NFT picture. So I'm just going to, in my world outliner here, I'm going to click edit NFT picture, and we've just got our big in play here. So we're going to do a read method, and here we're just going to select the deployed contract from the deployed contract list. So Cooties deployed, which we made earlier. And now we can see all of the methods we can call. We obviously want to call token URI, because that's where the metadata for this NFT is stored, and the content we want to send along is the ID of the ID of the token we want to read the metadata from. So let's just pick one at random. I'm going to pick one at random, literally. And then we want to break this response because it's going to return a URL. So we want to convert this to a JSON read method JSON to string array, and then we want to get the zeroth in that array, which from a token URI there will only really ever be one string in the response, so you only ever need to get the zeroth one. Then drag off and press print, type print string, and then just plug that into there. So then what's going to happen is when we run this, you'll see in the log it print the IPFS address here for the token URI. Next up, we're going to read that token URI. So stop play, and then instead of plugging it into a print string, we want to plug it into a get data from URL. So plug that back in there, and then once that's completed, we're going to print this string instead. So this is going to go to that URL, get the data, and pull it for us and print it out. So now we get that, which is, if you can see it in the log at the bottom here, is the, let me just put it into the notepad for you. So here you can see the token metadata. Now we want to get this image. So now we want to get the image. You could pass the string here into some sort of JSON reading, so some sort of JSON parsing system, like another plugin that's not Emergence. And if you passed it into there, you could then read through the return JSON and find the image attribute, and then read the URL from that, and then pass that into something along the lines of download image, which is built into Unreal Engine. But we actually provide a helper function to do the majority of that for you. So get rid of get data from URL, and then pass this into get ERC721 image from URI. And what this basically does is it's going to pass through that JSON for you, and it's going to get the image, which for whatever reason is called avatar on here, but it's literally anything from the image part of the JSON that's returned. So drag off of avatar, and this is going to be this is a texture 2D, and you're going to need to effectively make a material to pass this into. So make a new material, and this is going to be called NFT display material. Now make a texture sample parameter. We're just going to call this texture, and we're going to plug that into base color. Now we're going to click save. We're going to go back to our NFT picture. We're going to click on the plane here, and we're going to call this NFT display material. And then we need to drag off of plane and say create dynamic material instance. So get our NFT display material, and then we want to set a texture parameter value, and obviously just type into the parameter name what you called it. So we called ours texture, and then drag off of here and do set texture parameter value. So set the name to obviously be the name texture, and set the value to be your avatar or your image. So now when the read completes, it should place the thing there. Ta-da! Now let's see how we could transform this code to see who is the owner of this NFT. What we can do is let's put a sequence node here, and then let's call read method again, but on the same token. Well, this time we're going to call owner of, and we're going to print what the response of that is. So again, read method to JSON string array. Again, we're only really going to ever get one response to this, so we can just get 0. And we can see who the owner of this is. So you can see there, it just flashed up for a second, but we can see that currently this one is owned by this address here. So that's how you can imagine how you could very easily turn this into a sort of NFT art gallery. For example, if I was to transform this code a bit, so we make it so that we have like a int here, which is the token ID, and then we set that to be instance editable exposed on spawn, plug that into here, and then we can make a couple of copies of this, and we can call this one token ID 1, this one token ID 2, this one token ID 3, this one token ID 4, and this one token ID 5. Now, apparently some of these tokens don't exist. Interesting. Maybe there isn't that many of these guys. I didn't ask our community member Thoth about how many of these there were, but you can start to make a gallery effectively with this system very easily if you wanted. And you could even like display the owner of each NFT next to it, or the name of it below it, because you can also get the name, as I mentioned earlier, from here very easily as well. So if we print that, we can actually see what all of these are called. Just make sure you don't let it do that. Do that instead. Because this is once it's completed, and this is just instantly afterwards, so there's not really much point in using this because you won't have the data available yet. But you can see you get Qt1, Qt5, Qt4, etc. as they load in, and then these two broken ones. I don't know why Unreal Engine decided to pick a picture of some mold as the default for missing textures, but yeah, just ignore that. Hope this tutorial's been helpful, and I look forward to seeing what you guys continue to build with Emergence. See ya.